Woo. Man, you almost wish you'd have taken somebody with you, don't you? If you could have taken somebody with... Do you wish you could have taken Ed with you? Ha ha ha! All right, on with the show, everybody. Thank you for getting on. If you do me a huge favor, it is my birthday. I'm 50 today. I'm 50, bitch. 50. If you do me a favor, like, comment, and share the stream, especially for you youngins out there, because I got a message I'm going to tell y'all today. Maybe some of this will stick. As always, we begin every morning grind with 60 seconds of gratitude. I'm thankful to be back. Had a fabulous birthday trip. A lot of people got to come and hang out with us. It was almost like Groundhog Day. Every day we'd wake up and I'd see Ed over there. One day I had to stop Ed drinking. It was 6:40 in the morning, and the dude was drinking. 6:40 in the morning. What the hell? What were you thinking, Ed?
Just keep the party going.
My wife, happiest birthday to you, Hubs. I love you too. Thank you for getting on here. We'll see you very soon. Q, hard-working cousin. Good morning to you. I appreciate y'all getting on here. Andre, we missed you. How much more fun would the trip have been if we had Andre?
Been a lot. Missed out.
I see all my guys are getting on. Hey, thank you. If you're on here, let me know. Just say happy birthday, GTT. I really would appreciate it. Josh, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for, well, first off, it's your birthday. I'm thankful
Thank you.
for that. But I'm also thankful that you allowed me to come on this.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm thankful Van got the damn camera or got the show up because we took a little hiatus. We were nearly gone for a week and a half or 2 weeks. I don't know how long we were gone, but we were gone forever. We didn't have a camera. The shit broke down. We're back. What are you thankful for, little Josh?
Thankful that you're back with us.
Ali?
I'm grateful for the team.
Oh, well, thank you. Dipshit Ed?
I'm thankful to be back. Happy that it's your birthday, and thankful that changed a lot of stuff about me on the trip.
Is any of it going to stick?
So
Or-
far it has.
Well, that's been a double. I'm going to be pulling for you. John Wesley, howdy, friend. Okay, I'm going to ask, who wants to answer the question first?
I do.
Okay, good answer. If there was one thing, hey, Shannon Wheeler came down. If there was one thing I could give you, one gift, whatever it is, whatever you want, what would be the gift I would give you? What is the gift you would pick?
Money.
Money! What would you pick?
A nice Silverado.
Well, that's a pitiful answer. What would you pick?
Self-improvement.
Self-improvement, Ollie. Ollie.
Say a house in Riverview Cove.
A house in Riverview Cove. Well, I'm going to tell you the way you should be thinking. And most people, they say this because what is the most precious commodity? My wife says furniture. What is the most precious commodity? Thank you for doing this. I heard you had a big part in that. What is the most precious commodity there is? Do you know? Silverado. Most people think they want money. Josh, Mr. Ambitious One, he said, give me money. But when you focus on money, you're focusing on the wrong resource. What was so miserable about the drive home? What could you have done to create more time for yourself?
Flown.
Why didn't you fly?
Because I had to go to, or actually, no, you know what? No reason. I should have flown.
Okay, so look, this is one thing you got to understand, and rich people understand this, okay? If you can learn how to create more time for yourself, you'll have a much better life. You'll enjoy things more. You'll have more fun, and you'll find a way to make more money. So I'm going to show you some examples, maybe how you're not thinking about how do you create time. How can you have more time? Everybody, there's some people, Drew, Sam, Hayden, Shannon, people are saying time, but how do you create more time? It's one thing to say I want more time, but how do you create more time? People. Did you notice how I created more time for me this weekend or this past 2 weeks?
Yes.
How?
There are people here working still. Not even that.
How?
Hey, bring this down for me.
Oh yeah.
Mike Doyle says sleep faster. Okay. Whenever Ed was not invited for the second week, he was invited during family week because unfortunately he's my relative. He's my cousin. I got to claim him. So I made the decision like, hey, here's what I'm going to do. When the team gets down here, there's going to be a server here. How'd you feel about the server role?
I thought it was a fair trade.
Did you? Do you feel good about it?
Well, for one, I learned how to serve people better, and two, it helped free up time.
Now, you did do some dipshitness. What was the biggest dipshit move you did?
It brings me back to one time when I was putting the cheese for the.
I'm going to tell you the biggest dipshit move you made.
BH Taylor.
That was a dipshit move. But the biggest dipshit move, here was the biggest, thank you, Stevie Z. The biggest dipshit move Ed made was, he got drunk and he ran 5 miles.
Yeah.
He threw up several times. Well, then I've got some friends over. I don't know what day it was, but I had the Burts over. Michael and Natalie. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I don't know which day it was. Ed decides to go on a run. How far did you run that day?
5.2.
5 miles, 5.2 miles. Now, keep in mind, where everybody was, we're all at the pool during this moment. We're all sitting around and we're relaxing. And Ed finishes his run. Now, you've got to come through the door to get back in there. So if you were going to throw up, where would you throw up?
Way away from the house.
Do you know where Ed went and threw up?
Where?
He walked in and threw up in the outdoor sink right in front of everybody. Now,
I didn't think people were watching me.
well, there's no, that's the only reason why you did it. Why would you come inside there and throw up in a sink? Enough of that. We'll get off that. But I mean, were you there? Were you there, Van?
Yes,
On a scale from 0 to 10, how much of a dipshit move was that?
that was a good 12 or 14.
Golly. I mean, that's one where people are actually commenting like, what the hell? So, moving along, how did Stevie set a 12? So how can you find more ways to create time in your life? Here's how I did it. The biggest mistake we made is we drove. How much time did that cost?
7 hours and 45 minutes.
No. How long, Van?
7 one way.
Well, you got to count both ways.
15 hours almost.
15, 16 hours. I lost 15 or 16 hours. Now, you still, let's say I lost 8 total. Because you still got to fly. You still got to do other, but I gave away 8 hours. How much time did I save, though, by going to the beach and having somebody bringing us drinks?
A lot.
Did you get served a drink? Van, did you get served a drink?
Yes,
Who served you?
I guess it was Ed,
Where were you when you got served?
sitting under an umbrella.
Sitting under an umbrella. So I want you to think about. Now look, if you're going to create time, my wife says, how else would Jack have been able to go? Well, that's why we drove, is because I wouldn't have enjoyed the trip without that dog there. Did you like my dog?
He's the best dog in the world.
Better than Oscar?
Yes.
What?
Who's better, Jax or Oscar?
Jacks.
Yeah, thank you. So think about this. How can you create more time?
Delegate.
Well, you got to have people. How do you have people?
Be a leader.
Nope.
Talk to him.
Nope. You got to have money. You got to pay them.
People say money.
You got to give them an opportunity. I mean, you're not going to come here. Nobody's going to be here if they don't feel like there's an opportunity. So if you're going to create time, there's a trade-off. Like Ed said, it was a good trade-off. He gave up his time to have a free trip. Hey, he made $1,000 for his drunken run that you were part of. I should make you pay it because you encouraged him to get there. But that was the trade-off. Most people have it backwards. They look at ways to save money but give more time. Does that make sense? You don't look certain over there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm such a time freak. I don't know how often my wife understands this, but like whenever I'm going to go pick up food or if I'm going to go get a smoothie, I'm going to call them and have the order waiting on me. I'm not thinking about money. I'm thinking about how can I create more time, because if you've got more time, you can make more money. If you've got more time, you can create more happiness. If you've got more time, you can create a better life. Delegate, automate, and eliminate tasks that occupy time. That's the easy thing to say, Mike, but the hard thing is, are you willing to pay for it? That's one way time makes your life better. The other thing I was thinking about is we were out there in the ocean, me, you, Adam, right? And we were talking about things. Then we'd call Ed, and he'd bring us a drink. Did he ever bring you a drink out there? Mm-hmm. He'd bring us a drink. The other thing we were talking about is time and investments. Like if I were your ages, I would find ways to buy an asset right now. Can you buy a house this year or next year? You need to do that, because I was telling you over the last there's a few houses I bought. There's I don't know how many I bought a house in 2005 and I paid $95,000 for this house. The same person has lived in this house since I bought it. The same tenant. That house today is probably worth $300,000. Paid $95,000 for it. Now, you know how much money I put in that deal? Guess.
10 grand.
Zero grand. How have I, it's, I did refi the best money I ever pulled out. I don't know really what's owed on that, but how did I create that wealth? How did I create that money there?
Owning the asset.
Just own it for time. People need to understand that the most important thing that you have is time. Lose the idea that money is what you're chasing, because whenever you're thinking about money, it's harder to get money. Whenever you can think about time, it's easier to get money. I don't know if that makes sense to you. May not. Took me a long time to understand it, because I was always thinking about that house we stayed at. How did I create time for y'all? How did I create the experience for y'all? By paying for a place. And that was an expensive place. It's probably a $22,000 place we stayed in for 2 weeks. But I needed a place for everybody to be able to come to have a good time. Did you have a good time? Did you have a good time? Giving you guys a good time, what is that going to pay the company back? What is that going to pay me back? Josh gets on there, does this whole morning show about me and how great I am. You haven't done anything yet, Ed. Van, I'm sure Van will say something. But just to understand, if you can learn how to create more time, time will give you more of what you really want. Time will give you more opportunities. It will give you more money. But start making decisions about, how can I do this sooner? How can I do things that frees me up? Like, are you going to do you cut your own yard? Y'all live in an apartment. Do you cut your own yard? Who does?
Parents' yard,
The HOA.
How long does that take?
4 or 3.5 hours.
Why do you cut it?
That's my rent for being able to stay over there.
How often do you have to do it?
It's every 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do.
I can pay somebody to do
That's
it,
right.
but I think it's more meaningful to them if I do it.
It probably is. It probably is, but it's still a lot of time. How many hours out of the month is it going to be? I don't want you to go back and tell your mom.
8 hours. Probably out of a month.
Well, some people are going to say, "Well, I love doing that," but what else could you be doing during that 8 hours?
Yeah.
I'm a time freak. My wife would get pissed off at me if I'm asking her, what time are we going to do this? I mean, are we going to do this in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 15 minutes? Because there's a lot of things I can go do to create more time. Like, I can go train, I can get things done that I've got to do at a later date. If you can just change your mindset about time, how quickly could I get the... Who in this office gives away the most time? I'd say Ed. How long does it take Ed to do things? See, if you would become more aware of your time, it would change everything. And the reason why I'm talking about this is I'm 50. See, when you're younger, like you guys are, we got a lot of young people, and it's a lot easier at a young age to give away your time. It's a big mistake that I've made. I wish I could go back in my life and say the most important thing for me is, how do I create a longer, better, more meaningful life? And it's very simple. I needed more time. It's the one thing when you become 50 or you become 60, it's the one thing you're going to want more of. By the time I'm 60, I really need to have lived till I'm 80. Because I'm going to create so much time. Shut us down, Vingratin! Thank you for the birthday wish.